Hello everyone, hope you all are good. Stay safe. So during this time, we CAD International from Dubai, we are providing various software training and online. That's our YouTube channel. So we have a lot of various software we are training. Like you might be heard about Revit software and a lot of kind of like ETABS, mechanical softwares, architectural softwares, and also we also teach the visualizing softwares like 3ds Max, SketchUp, Lumion, kind of visualizing softwares. So today we are here to learn 3ds Max. Okay, so we can start with the platform of introduction with the 3ds Max. Now you can see introduction to 3ds Max. What is 3ds Max basically? 3ds Max is the software provided by Autodesk, okay, where we can model whatever the things we want. If you can dream it, we can create that in 3ds Max. 3ds Max is a software we can also use not only in the architecture, we can use it in many platforms. Like in architectures, or else if you want to in the gaming platform, or else if you want in the movies, everywhere we can use it. Like in the VFX studios, and we'll be using the 3ds Max software only. And making more realistic looks, and we have to use some help of some plugins. So just go through that. Now you can see just a 3ds Max introduction. You can see what and all the architectural one tour we can create by using 3ds Max. You can see some of the images like the organic type of buildings or else the normal type of buildings, whatever the building styles with the proper materials, proper lightings, we can create it. So this introduces some samples we can see. Now, exactly what is 3ds Max we can say. 3ds Max is a professional 3D computer graphic program for making 3D animation, model, games, and images. We can create, as I told you, we can create many type of furniture modeling. Or else if the mechanical person, they can create their product like whatever the mechanic product they want to create it. They can create it from the default objects from 3ds Max. Something like if you want to create a furniture as architects like interior designers, and if you want to create a furniture model as you create, we can easily create it by using polygon modeling method in the 3ds Max Center. We can create the characters as well, some of, because now we are mainly into the architectural platform, but there are a lot of person who's using for the gaming part also. They will use to create the characters and the platform with the proper environment, the proper materials of that characters, everything we can do it. Okay, also we can create the animations. It's like if you create a character that if you want to move it, or else like in the gaming center you can see the characters are moving. So that type of effects center, if you want to apply it here, we can apply by using 3ds Max. Animation is available, but that animation we are not using. Mainly we require the animation part as a walkthrough and all. Like if you create an interior model and if you want to see it as a video, like the interior models, if you want to see it as a video, like it's just rendering the walkthrough effect, that we can use it in 3ds Max. Now we can see, as I told you, you can see users of 3ds Max. The part of animation, you can see one sample image here. Animation part, you can see one viper is running animation, like we can animating that part. Okay, like the legs, and we can how the object has to be run. There will be a simple object that we have to specifically we have to animate it, like the legs move, the hand moving, how it has to move, that and we have to control it, that we can control it very accurately. Similarly, you can see the gaming, like suppose the character, like it's just a polygon modeling. With the help of polygon modeling, we can easily create the character perfectly, and this object is not applied by material. So we have to apply the material with making for realistic effect, and after that the animation will be added. Then we can add it for that gaming platform center. Similarly, you can see one sample image here. The architecture building, you can see a building model with the proper material and lighting effect. We can see the architecture effect, the proper environment we can create it with the material, the lighting, the sun, like we can change the skies and all different type of sky, what type of environment you want, everything we can. Suppose if you're going to build in a, suppose the area, like that area itself, we can place a building and we can do that in a render platform. So as the architects and or else interior designers and all, if they want to create their platform like a building or else a space of interior space, if you want to create it, Anyways, we have to import a plan. We have to import a AutoCAD plan, and from that AutoCAD plan we have to start to build it. So like you can see one image here, we imported a plan. You can see there is a plan here, and from that plan we are using one modifier in 3ds Max, extrude modifier. We can easily, that from that plan we can extrude our walls. Similarly, we can extrude our flooring, the roofing, the whatever the things, like very easily we can create it here. You can see just extrusion part it is showing here, and also once you extrude it we can also apply the materials and placing the furnitures. We can download the furnitures, or else you can create as well, and afterwards we can place it and we can design our space like this. Just a sample. Okay, similarly now if you come over here, not only the simple plan and extruding, I told you we have a perfect modeling part. In a simple way, the main part, there are different type of predefined objects to start with. Suppose if you want to create a particular model, suppose you can see one sample model hand is showing out here, that has been started with a simple box and cylinder. So we can easily get a lot of specific default shapes are available here. Default shapes, you can see box, cylinder, sphere. Except all other softwares, this is the main highlighting part here. We have a lot of default shapes is available here. So like you can see one polygon modeling things has been how the creating process that has been showing here. Okay, so that has been started with a simple box. You can see one box is here and as well as one cylinder, and afterwards you can see the box is slightly has been, that shape has been changed, and a bit more fingers as cylinder has been added. That conversion, it is coming from here to here. We are adding one modifier, it's called polygon modeling, editable poly it's called. By using editable poly with the simple default shapes, now we are changing that object's shape as an exact 3D model. Like you can see, now it's almost in the part of hand only. And you can see, as we see, it's a two separate objects. That two separate objects, we can make it as a attach, and we can make it as a one particular object. Now you can see with the material, the object will be look like this. We can do the perfectly, like even though it's just a coloring material, it's not rendered actually. Once you do the render, the skin how it looks and the nail polishing with the reflection, everything we can do it very accurately. And this is not rendered picture, it's just a screenshot of that. So if you do the rendering, if you want to see that more realistic, we have to do the rendering part. What is rendering, I will be explaining you. And we can make it as a very bit more realistic, like the skin, the nail, how to look in the reflection and do that, and all will be very clearly, we can visible it. Now the material. So as we told, after rendering only I told you we'll be getting the proper materials and all. So materials, there are different type of materials. You can see here, as a sample image has been uploaded here, you can see glass material is there, just a colored material is there, glossy, matte, and as well as the metallic materials and all is there. If it's a simple colors also, like a red or white color, if you apply it, that color, if you want to make it as a bit more realistic, we have to apply the materials with a reflection and all. If you create a just a simple color as a red color you had applied it, and once it's in the reality, we have to see just a wall paint color, or else sometimes it will be a matte finished material, or else it will be a glossy like a ceramic materials and all. So we can just apply color, and how it has to be visible in the reality, that we have to adjust it. How it has to be, that we can control it with the help of reflection with the V-Ray. Because V-Ray, it's a plugin. V-Ray we are using here. V-Ray, it's a plugin for 3ds Max, that we can easily use the material things, and we can control the material, lighting, rendering, everything we are doing with the V-Ray only. In 3ds Max also you can do the rendering, but the trouble it is not much convenient view. So that's why we are using the V-Ray plugin for making a better render view. Okay, so you can see just a red color has been applied here. This one, it is not it's a type of a matte material. You can see blue with a glossy reflection, and you can see metallic finish material, like all the type of metallic, like the steel or golden finish material. And in that metallic also, whether you want to glossy or reflective, or else like the matte finish material, that we can control it very quickly. Similarly, you can also apply the glass material. The glasses also, there are a lot of different type of glasses. You can see the curtain wall, or else like a very transparent glasses is there, like a mirror effective glasses are there, or else like a tinted color glasses are there. So different type of glasses, that is also we can easily like from a one objects we can easily make the changes in that glass effect. Okay, and also like the flooring materials and all, or else any textures where textures means just an image file, just a tile images and all. If you get it, we can make that as a texture, and that image you can see one sample here, just a image has been applied in. Once that image, let after that reflection is added, you can see uniform reflection everywhere, and you can see map reflection, like that is a bit more bump affected, and that depth of the grooves and all, you can see bump effect and all will be applied to making this grooves and a bit more visible. And as well as now this reflection has been decreased, and you can see that's a type of a bit matte type of material also. So we can control it very accurately what type of material you want it. Okay, so that all about the materials, metallic or glass or normal color or else the textures, everything we can easily create it here with the help of V-Ray plugin. And in that you can see the reflection control, the diffuser material we can apply it, and the bump effect is there to make the depth of, to get the depth of that images. You can see the grooves and all, it is very clear here, so that we can make it accurately with the help of V-Ray plugin. Now the lighting effect. In this image you can see different just say casting shadows, everything you can see over here. Just a sunlight only is there in this building. You can see it's an interior platform, the platform without material. Okay, just a without material this platform, just to show the lighting shadows how it's falling. Now you can see the sunlight is falling from through the window, and once it's hit on the objects and all, it is casting the shadows over here. So the shadows, we can make it as a very accurately, the depth of image we can create it by using different type of lighting is there. We have a lot of type of lightings here, like the artificial lighting or it's the sun lighting, like the natural light source is available here. So natural lighting is like sunlight is there, or else the environmental dome light effect and all is there. Similarly, if you're getting for the interior part and all, if you're making a night rendering and all, we can do the daylight rendering, the evening rendering, or night lighting. We can make it as a however the view we want, whether you want night view or day view. We can easily control it by using V-Ray only. Then now you can see it's a perfectly a day view has been applied with the help of sunlight. You can see we can change the sunlight direction center. Suppose the sunlight is from here, so you can see the shadows fall here. Suppose if you want to change the direction, you can change the direction, and the shadows we can fall it the other side. Okay, so it's a day view. We can just control with the sunlight. Some sample bit more images you can see over here. The sunlight has been coming out here. Now you can see the shadows falling here. So we can like how our, in real life our sun is moving from one side to the other side, how it is moving. Similarly, like once it's rise, the shadow will be the other side. If you go to the other side, or else if you keep it on the downside, the sun, it will be getting it as an evening effect. If it's in the top, we can make it as a day effect. We can easily control that. But when you're using the sunlight effect, you can see the gradient color type of sky you'll be getting. It's not look so realistic. So for getting the more realistic environment, for making the interior or exterior building if you're creating, the thing is like of in an interior building, you can see the through the windows and we have to get the scenery, what we have in the environment, right? We have to see the environment, what type of environment we have the background. Or else we are creating the exterior view. In that also the building only if it is there means that looks not realistic. We have to get the background. We have to like the buildings nearby or else the trees or plants or whatever the things, okay, roads or streets, we can make it with the help of dome light or else HDRI mapping and all we can say. With the help of HDRI skies, like we can see here one images here, you can see the clouded type of skies we are getting. So it's just a skies only it's showing, but you can see with that HDRI have a HDRI site is there. So from that we can download this type of skies, real environment. Not only the sky, we can get the nearby buildings or backgrounds, and we can see some plants or whatever things we have. Lot of things in the background. We can make a look like that. Okay, and with that sun, that dome, that sky which we upload here, that we can make whether you want day or else in the afternoon view or else you can just make it a night view. Okay, you can control the time effect, like you can more brighten or else a dark view, like a night effect, like a moonlight effect, and all. If you want, you can make it from a single view, like a single environment, you can adjust that. Or else if you want a perfectly night view, a dark views and all means instead of using a day HDRI and making it as a night, what we can do, we can take a night rendering view and we can do the a night HDRI sky and we can do the rendering. But the thing is like if you do the rendering with the night rendering endo. For making bit more realistic, we have to control the SDR skies brightness and a bit more control will be had because we will be using artificial lights and inside the building. So in that, if you want to control the outside lightings, we have to may adjust the contrasting or else the brightness of the which is the environment which we are placing it. Now there is all about the environmental effects in the help of dome light, and we can also see different type of spotlight option. And spotlight, you can see from here one light has been placed and that shadows you is falling out here. And we also have the IES lights effects and all. In the interior views and all, it's mainly it will be visible. You can see the walls and all for making a better ambient. You can create and you can place this type of like in the walls and all, you can follow this type of shadows. Different type of shadows are there, like this lighting shadows we can apply. Different type of lighting shadows we can apply maybe in the interior rooms and all, or else if you want to go for the exterior buildings also like in the walls and all, if you want to follow this type of shadows and all, we can use that. Okay, but this lights and all, it will be bit more clear in the night rendering views and all. In the day rendering it won't be bit like it won't be clear because the sunlight will be the more highlighting. So in the night rendering or else in the evening times and all, you can adjust it so half day view and like bit more lights also we can clear it. If you have a daylight very high brightness and all means the artificial lights which you use that won't be clear. Similarly, you can see in the same interior view, just a sample you can see here. In the same interior view, you can see how it looks a day view and how it is changing to like a brighten and darken, or else in the night view, and we are changing some colors in the night effect, how it will be visible clearly, that will be visible here. You can see one sample, like the same scenery only, we are rendering in the day view and as well as we are rendering in the night view, and this will be the difference. Okay, so the one platform we can easily make it whether you want night or day, we can easily control with the lighting effects. Lighting effects is very easy to use it, and it will give you the exactly realistic look. With the lighting only we can see the material center properly, because the material we can make it as very realistic and what I told you, but without help of lights we can't see that object, right? We will be creating the materials everything properly, we can see as a preview and do, but in that object if you want to see the material properly we require some brightness, I mean the lights we require it. So this with the help of only we'll be making the perfect materials visible with the help of light. Okay, now if you apply the light and materials everything you applied it, but after that it won't be visible clearly. So if you want to make it visible clearly we have to come over here in the rendering platform. Rendering, it is like suppose you're creating, like if you're applying the material, you're placing the lights, everything you're doing in the viewport itself, and we'll be step into the rendering part. What is rendering? Like once you created a view, that view we are making, like we are converting as an image file, as a jpg file with a more realistic effect. In the viewport you can see whether it's a proper material has been applied or what. Like we can see that actually we have a viewport rendering and all nowadays, but the thing is like the viewport rendering and all we can do all the time because that will hang a lot. Okay, so what we'll do in a sample, like just a material only we can see it in the viewport, we won't be making the reflection everything properly in the viewport itself. After applying the material, lighting, everything once it's finished, what we'll do, we'll be going for the rendering part. Rendering, we are converting that view as an image. So as a sample image you can see the building, everything we can see, glass material will be applied and you can see the side lights are there, and you can see the skies are there here, and as well as the lighting has been placed. So different type of lightings are there, night lightings are there, the trees has been placed. The trees also you can use it in the 3ds max, or else after place rendering and all, we can also use that with the help of photoshop and all, we can do some post production things also. So this and all is a sample images we can say with the help of rendering. Okay, rendering, it will be rendering. After rendering only we can say the realistic objects we can see. I mean realistic images we can see. For making the client as convinced, we can do the rendering and we can show it to them. Now we can see what are all the plugins we used over here. Plugins, I told you already, V-Ray we can use it for making the better materials and better lighting and better rendering. We are using the V-Ray platform. As well as you can see here, Forest Pack, there is a one more plugin we are using. This and all is a Forest Pack you can see here. This is created by Forest Pack. What is the use of forest pack here means we can create the objects that by using 3ds max only we can create the model completely, and once it's come with the material we'll be applying this material and with the VRA effect. And you can see also the glass material, and inside the lighting has been placed, that lighting also, and the outside the skies and the brightness of daylighting, that also controlled by the VRA only. And after that we will be creating, like it's a kind of a hill area, right? That hilly area we have to create it, we have to model it with the 3ds max only. We'll be creating that surface, and after creating that surface we can place the plants and trees and rocks, all these things, with the help of forest pack plugins. Forest pack, in the name only you can understand, right? It's forest, like we are making the plants and trees, and a lot of plants and trees and rocks, everything like the grass and what are the things like the foliage, leaves, everything we can make it a bit more realistic, like how it looks, the environment, the real environment we can create it. Okay, suppose it's a, like it's just a forest area, it's been placed it, or else if you want to create a garden things and like a lot of plants and all you have in the garden, like if you want to design a garden in the architectural area, you can landscape design center at the time and all, it is very useful with the forest pack things. Okay, you can see in this images and all, you can see the only the bridge has been created in modeling, and the water also with the help of VRI material, and you can see the surface has been created, and after that the trees and rocks, everything has been done with the forest pack plugin only. So that's all we'll be doing with the 3ds max software with the help of VRA plugin and forest pack plugin. I hope it was informative to you guys. Okay then, we'll see you every Thursday, and